The Devils added former Hurricanes defenseman Dougie Hamilton on a 7-year, $63 million deal. He's one of the league's top offensive defensemen. But does his fantasy value get a bump in Jersey, Geoff?
I mean, his fantasy value probably does not get a bump by going to the New Jersey Devils. This is the team with the fourth worst power play in the league last year. Now, that being said, he's going to get to play with some talented players like Jack Hughes, obviously. I like the move for New Jersey. I think it's smart. I mean, their back end was easily one of the worst. I mean, Dougie Hamilton, all of that being said, he's going to a weaker team. He's going to play a ton of minutes because, this was a move so that they don't have to play guys like Damon Severance and Ty Smith, a million minutes per game. So from a fantasy perspective, though, I don't think you can necessarily rely on Dougie Hamilton to be the producer that he was with Carolina. They had an elite power play, obviously, led by Sebastian Aho. We're just not there with the New Jersey Devils. Maybe in a year or two, I would look for his fantasy value to take a bump down, while his minutes are probably going to stay around the same.
Paul, what do you think? Does his fantasy value get a bump, or do you agree with Geoff and not really?
Jesse, you know how periodically they give interim grade reviews on how players perform this year at the end of the season, or even speculating like this? I can't give a complete grade because the Devils, they've only got 8 forwards signed with $21 million in cap space. They've got a lot of jobs to fill before we can get a good sense for how this is going to affect Dougie Hamilton. I mean, Jeff's handled his analysis very well in terms of saying what a great player he is, the offensive upside that he brings, and all that sort of thing. But if he doesn't have quality to play with, I think you could see a bit of a downturn because he was surrounded by great players in Carolina. He doesn't have that yet with New Jersey, and I don't know that he's going to get that. But the jury's out for me in terms of a real good analysis at this point, because we just don't know what they're going to add to the mix. Certainly, he's going to be the big minute eater, the power play quarterback, and then some. He's hard pressed to match the scoring totals without a good supporting cast, and we just don't know what that's going to look like yet.
And to Paul's point, all those Carolina Hurricanes looked good last year because Carolina was a great team from the advanced stats perspective. So we don't know what some of these players might take dives, and Dougie Hamilton definitely could be one of them.